Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to yet another guided newspaper class. We organize these sessions every morning with the aim to help students improve on their basics. And by basics, I mean vocabulary, reading speed, and the way they speak, and also framing opinions. Babicha, Pavitra, good morning. Just let me know if you have joined the class. Let me know with a hi or good morning on the chat box. Avinash, Aishwarya, good morning. Okay. All right. So let's just wait for a few more minutes for more people to join and then we will get started. Utkarsh, hi. Yes. Okay. Some of you attend these classes every day. Aviva, Anthony, Saurabh, good morning. Jia, Singpan, good morning. All right, great. So today's article is also slightly interesting and it's all one sided, mostly opinionated. Now, this article talks about how time is spent, as in based on caste and class. So, how is it different for a person who is rich or a person who belongs to the upper caste? How is it different for that person to spend on leisure, on unpaid work, versus someone who is of the lower class or from a lower economic class? Okay, this article is basically taken from a survey, is interpreting a survey, and we'll just try and understand what this article tries to portray. Okay, that's what this article is about. It's a very short article, yet a very powerful and interesting one. Okay, Akanksha, AJ, Pratibha, Abin, Rajvi, Sana, Gayatri, good morning. Good morning. Nice to have you. Nice to have you all. We'll get started. So, as usual, we will do 4 rounds today. So the first round will just be you listening to the article. The second round will be we'll read it together, and then I'll explain you the meanings of certain words. The third round will be guided speaking, as in you will repeat after me. You will speak out aloud. Okay. And the fourth round it will be you framing sentences. And today's article, I'm sure, will definitely trigger you and will definitely trigger you to frame your own opinions. Okay, Vipin Kumar, Mohan, Alekhya, Sadhana, good morning. All right, let's get started then. So, just for the people who just joined, this article is about how people of different caste and class spend time. This is basically a survey on how people spend time on their paid work and unpaid work. Okay, so what is paid work? Just a few definitions. Paid work, anything that pays you salary, money. Okay, unpaid work is anything that involves no money. Example, household chores. They don't fetch you any money, right? That's how the article is commenting. Okay, let's get started. I'll just read it out aloud. Try following and understanding the meanings of the word that you don't know. Okay, caste, class, and geographic location determine how Indians spend the hours in a day, how much paid work they can do, how much unpaid work they must do, and how much leisure they have. The first time use survey conducted by the government in 20 years shows the strong role of gender in determining how people spend their time. But it also shows how other key fissures in the Indian society determine who gets to do what and for how long. The time use survey released earlier this month was conducted by the National Statistical Office in 2019 and asked a nationally representative sample of 450,000 people how they spent their days. The survey showed that women spent 84% of their working hours on unpaid activities, while men spend 80% of their working hours on paid work. Just 6% of men participate in cooking in any manner, and just 8% do any house cleaning. But beyond this broad divide between men and women lie other cleavages. The poorest Indians spend the least time on paid work, and the richest Indians have the least time for sleep. Moving on. Upper caste men and women have the most time for self care and maintenance activities, including sleep, while scheduled caste and scheduled tribe men and women have the least time among social groups. The NSO, as in National Statistical Office, allows respondents belonging to all religions to choose from the following social groups: scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward class, and others. In this article, others is used as a proxy for upper caste. Okay, so this is how the survey looks like. It's a very interesting take on how people spend their time. Okay, yeah, so that's it. That's the end of this article actually. But it's a very, very short article. Did you guys understand what this meant? I'm sure you understood what the article meant. Did you guys understand what this article is trying to portray? Give me a yes if you did. Yes? Did you guys understand this? Okay, okay, all right. Yes, good. Okay, yes, very well done. So, this is again, so it's not about creating these differences, or it's not about having having a strong feeling of, I'm this, I'm that. It's not about supporting women or not. It's not that. The article tries to portray, it's just portraying a survey, but it is also trying to explain the differences, yes, gender differences, and also caste and class related differences. Now understand the difference between caste. So by caste they mean upper castes, anybody who is superior versus anybody who is inferior according to the caste system, and according to economic class, people who are rich, people who are poor. Okay, so that's how the survey is portraying the differences in society. Okay, and why is this? Yes, it's a very nice article. And just a quick my take on the article. Why is this article even necessary? Why is it important for you to calculate how much time you spend on unpaid work? Now, remember that GDP is calculated based on how much money a person earns and spends, right? Imagine a person working on unpaid work. It can be a laborer, it can be a woman working throughout on household chores, but remember that that is not calculated under GDP. This particular unpaid hours that a person spends is not calculated, it's not accounted anywhere. That's why this survey is important. Okay, now that is just portraying the differences that are already there, and it's trying to uncover these facts for people to understand how important these jobs are. Okay, okay, let's read the article in a little more detail, and let's try and understand a few words. We are here to learn English, we're not here to learn about GDP, right? Okay, moving on. Caste, class, and geographic location determine how Indians spend the hours in a day. How much paid work they can do, how much unpaid work they must do, and how much leisure time they have. Okay, the first time use survey, that's the survey called time use survey, conducted by the government in 20 years, shows the strong role of gender in determining how people spend their time, determining, calculating. Okay, strong role, vital role, important role of gender, male, female, in determining how people spend their time. But it also shows how other key fissures in Indian society, how other key slips or cuts in the Indian society. As in this case, it means that there are certain mistakes in the Indian society that this that this survey is trying to portray. In Indian society, determine who gets to do what and for how long. So this survey result shows that in the Indian society, it is all pre-decided as to who gets to do what and for how long. That's a problem. That's what the article says. Did you understand this sentence? That's what it means actually. Yes? Give me a yes if you did understand this. Okay, good, good, good. Very well done. All right. Imrose, Abin, Pravalika, Rakesh, good morning. So it tries to say that Indian society has this, problem that it is predetermined as to who gets to do what and for how long, and that's unfair, right? Yeah. Okay, geographic location, again, cities versus rural areas. That's what it means. Okay, let's not get into why they got there. Let's just understand the article. Yeah. The time use survey, that's what it's called, released cuts, basically, Murtaza, problems in this case. That's what the sentence, in that context, it means a problem in the Indian society. Something that is deeply ingrained in the Indian society and something that's a big problem. Okay, yeah, that's what fissures mean in this case. Otherwise, it's a cut in a rock or something. But in this case, it's some kind of a mistake or some kind of a problem that is deeply ingrained, that's present for a long time. That's what it means to say. Okay, the time use survey released earlier this month was conducted by the National Statistical Office in 2019 and a nationally representative sample. What does this mean? Nationally representative, as in from all over India. All right, so people representing all parts of India, all kinds of people, rich, poor, based in cities, based in rural areas, men, women, everyone. Okay, that's what representative sample means. It represents every person of how they spent their days. The survey showed that women spent 84% of their working hours on unpaid activities. Okay, 84% of their working hours, as in how much ever time they work. Okay, that out of that, 84% is spent on unpaid activities. They're not paid for that activities, while men spend 80% of their working hours on paid work. That's what it says. Okay, so you understand the difference. Just 6% of men participate in cooking in any manner, and just 8% do any house cleaning. So, by unpaid work, this particular statistic says that cooking and house cleaning are unpaid jobs here. And women spend 84% of their time just doing this, moving forward. But beyond this broad divide, anything that is wide, okay? Broad divide between men and women lie other cleavages. There are also other facts that are opening up. There are also other facts that you need to understand. That's what it means. Okay? The poorest Indians spend the least time on paid work, which means that's why they are paid less. They spend least time doing paid work. For example, if they were supposed to work for 8, 9 hours a day, they work for probably, or they do jobs that pay them only for 2, 3 hours a day. That's a problem. And the richest Indians have the least time for sleep. Okay, so it kind of talks about how different people from rich and poor classes spend time. The poorest spend less time on paid work. The richest spend the least time on sleep. Okay, and it makes sense. Why? Because the richest Indians earn more money, hence they have to work more, hence they have less sleep. Poorest Indians do not get work, versus they don't are not really paid much, and hence they don't have money. Not really facts, openings. That's what it means. Openings, Babicha. That's what cleavages means in this case. All right. Okay. Let's move forward now. Let's move forward to the remainder of the article. Okay. Upper caste women and men have the most time for self care and maintenance activities. What is self care now? Self care is like grooming. Okay, going to the salon, getting your haircut done, getting your facial done, all of that. And maintenance, including house maintenance, repairing house, or just self maintenance. Okay, getting your clothes done, maintaining your clothes, maintaining your house, all of that. So they have most time for that, including sleep. Upper caste, this is different from rich. Okay, upper caste, anybody who is from a superior caste. While scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, men and women have the least time among social groups for all of these things, for self care and maintenance. And these are the social groups: scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward class, and others in this case means upper castes. Okay, that's what the article is about. Now, do you understand how strong this article is? How strongly opinionated this article is? I hope you understood that. The article is trying to hit at places that trigger you in various ways in giving you opinions. And this is exactly what you do in your writing. You think about what you feel about a certain idea and then write it. Are you able to relate why reading is so important? Because it gives you so much data, right? It gives you so much data to actually make you think, oh, this exists, so this means this is what I feel, right? But it's also important to be neutral about certain things. You cannot get personal about these things. It's important to write your opinion. You can't get carried away. Okay, that is also important. Don't get angry because women spend less time, upper caste are treating lower caste in a certain way. That's not why we are here. All right, understand framing opinions is important. Proxy, anything that's a replacement. Again, others means, in other words, others means upper castes. That's what it means. It's some kind of a replacement, something that acts for something. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Now we're done reading this entire article. You can take a look at this. It's there on Livemint. This is an amazing website for you to read and understand certain things about India. Anyway, this and The Wire, that also is a very good newspaper. Okay, let's do guided speaking now. Okay, we'll try and repeat these words in our own way. You will try to punch it up. Okay, now you understand the power of this article, which means that you can definitely exaggerate a bit. All right, so what you do is stress on the article in the same places that I am doing, and then try repeating words after me. All right, now I picked this proxy is like a replacement. Supreet. Okay. Yeah. So remember that I picked this article only for the reason to spend some time on generating opinions, on generating ideas and thoughts. Okay. So that way you guys are triggered to think, which is kind of important for writing. And that happens, that is a major problem for getting a good score in the writing area. Not just for improving your English, but also generally improving the way you generate thoughts. All right, let's do guided speaking now. Okay, you will repeat after me. Same kind of stresses and pauses. Yes, caste, class, and geographic location determine how Indians spend the hours in a day. Hours, not hours. Okay, it's hours in a day. How much paid work they can do, how much unpaid work they must do, and how much leisure time they have. Leisure, not leisure, leisure time they have. The first time use survey, use, okay? It's not use. Survey conducted by the government in 20 years shows the strong role of gender in determining how people spend their time. But it also shows how other key figures in the Indian society determine who gets to do what and for how long. Okay, moving on. The Time Use Survey, released earlier this month, was conducted by the National Statistical Office in 2019 statistical, not statistical, statistical office in 2019 and a nationally representative sample okay, not asked. The K sound has to be slightly masked. It's not silent, it's just that slightly masked. You don't use or give emphasis to the K sound too much. Asked a nationally representative sample of 450,000 people on how they spent their days. On how they spent their days. The survey showed that women spend 84% of their working hours on unpaid activities, while men spend 80% of their working hours on paid work. Just 6% of men participate in cooking in any manner, and just 8% do any house cleaning. Okay. Now, let's just do a little more. But beyond this broad divide between men and women lie other cleavages. The poorest Indians spend the least time on paid work, and the richest Indians have the least time for sleep. Upper caste men and women have the most time for self care and maintenance activities. Care, not care, okay? Care. And maintenance. Maintenance. Most commonly misspelt word, maintenance. Maintenance activities, including sleep, while scheduled, not scheduled, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe men and women have the least time among social groups. Statistical, Gaurav. The NSO allows respondents, people who respondents, okay, people who participated in the survey. Another word for participants. The NSO allows respondents belonging to all religions to choose from the following social groups. To choose from the following social groups. Past tense of choose being chose is past tense. CHOSE is chose, past tense. Choose, present tense. Okay? Do not make that mistake. Now, yes, these are the social groups. In this article, others is used as a proxy for upper castes. Upper castes. The R sound has to be slightly silent. Again here, ST, castes, that's it. Don't give stress on the T sound too much. Okay? Great, great. So that's how you read, and when you read these articles, try following a pattern very similar to what we're doing right now. Okay? Yes. So just try firstly understanding the article, and then try focusing on pronunciations, and then try framing your own opinion. So do it in the same order. That way, you will improve on all the four sections at one time. Okay. Okay, great. So now that you guys did it together, I'm sure I can't check if each of you did it, but I hope you did it, or you can simply do it on your own with another article. Okay. All right. Sana, Gaurav, Sadhana, Saurabh. Good morning. Yes. Very well done. Purple Diva. Yes. You fumble big words, Gaurav. It's okay. Keep reading. Keep reading. So in this case, fissure, so fissure is like a cut in a rock. Okay, that's what actual meaning of fissure is. But in this case, the article kind of uses it to determine anything that's a problem or anything that's deeply ingrained in Indian society. That's what it means. Okay. All right. Ajanta, Anu. Okay, fine. Let's now move on to the favorite exercise of framing opinions. Now, today I'm not going to ask you to frame sentences with words. I want you to frame opinions. Okay. Yeah. So in this particular article, we are trying to differentiate how people spend time in different castes, in different geographical locations, and different classes. Okay, so let me now pose this question to you. Why are these differences there? Among gender, among caste, among economic class? Why are these differences even there? As in, how people spend time is different in a city versus different in a rural area. Why do these differences exist? Same goes with gender. Why do these differences exist? Think about and answer. You'll have to answer two questions. One, about how and why this is different in cities and rural areas, and why is it different in genders? Can you try giving me two sentences telling why this happens? Or why is this even existing? Why is this survey having this difference? Yes, try framing a sentence. Think. And don't get emotional or carried away. Just frame it in a very neutral standpoint. Okay? Remember that. Imrose, Gaurav, Ajanta, Sana. Okay. Yes, try. Gaurav, try. Gaurav Gupta. Jaswinder. Give me a sentence. Why do these differences exist? Why? Why do people spend time differently in rural areas and in urban areas, and also men and women? Okay, so Anu feels that because of our previous generation, okay, has given birth to such a mentality that human beings have to follow certain concepts. Okay, Saurabh says, I believe that past traditions about caste discrimination and gender discrimination are the reasons, and it just has been followed by many people. Okay, in rural areas, the awareness of men and women. Okay, awareness of women is lesser, Pavitra feels, in rural areas. That's why this is a problem. Okay, all great reasons. Very well done. According to my opinion, men should support works. Why does that happen? Purple Diva. Why does that happen? Why is this difference there? Think about it. Look at your other friends giving reasons. Cities, people are more educated, more aware. They do not know about what's going on in the world. But Ajanta, it also exists between men and women. Why? It also exists in cities. Why? People in India follow tradition that's coming from ancient days, which can only change by our thinking. So only when you actually think a certain way, you will act a certain way. That's what Gayatri feels. So kind of customs and cultures, the traditional customs are making it, are shaping people to behave and work in a certain way. That's what Jia feels. Okay, Ashwini feels that society got habituated to all these norms and also does not have this knowledge that this is existing. Okay, that's what Ashwini feels. Shri feels that the pooling of resources in urban areas is compared to rural area. Maybe the okay, great. So maybe why there are better services in urban areas. All of that, everything is kind of different in the way people are in urban and rural. Okay, good, Shri. Rajvi says these differences exist because of predetermined rules. Also, as far as rural and city life goes, it is about different types of amenities and facilities that are provided. Okay, good, Rajvi. Well done. Okay, Utkarsh, people living far away from cities have very limited employment opportunities because of the location again. And so they are dependent on farming and other such small activities. That's the difference. Okay, wonderful sentences. I think it depends on the ambience. Ambience is different. Environment may be deep. That's what you're looking for. People find, okay, different jobs, so the difference in the way, okay, they're doing different jobs. In by nature, the jobs are different. Okay, most of these habits about men and women or rural and urban are from previous generation. That's what Mohan feels. Gaurav feels that women have no care and support with, especially with the middle class families. Okay, what about rural poor classes and richer classes? Okay. Okay. Again, Vaisak says in rural areas, people are still struggling to meet their basic needs. Um, okay, children don't get education. So why? Why is there a difference then? Why is there a difference in the way they do paid work and unpaid work? Okay. Deepti says, firstly, since perception of duties in men and women are decided in a certain way, divided in a certain way, it's the influence of education that is actually still existing between rural and urban areas that is also changing the way people work. Okay, okay, a lot of sentences today. I'm just going to pick a couple of sentences. Margi says the main difference is the mindset of people. A pattern division of responsibilities is the main cause of, okay, just say division of responsibilities, Margi. Patent, not the right word here. Okay, again, Pooja, you're stating the fact. You have to say why that exists. Okay. All right, good sentence. Vipin, I'm reading all of your sentences. Akanksha, women are not aware. They get less exposure and knowledge. Murtaza says people spend their time doing physical activity. Yes, so it's everything is manual in rural areas. That's what maybe Murtaza means, and they end up spending less time on unpaid work. Okay, lack of knowledge. We should educate people. Okay, that's the solution, Vipin. But why does this exist? So, collectively speaking, all of your reasons align towards the same thought, and there can't be any other reason that you feel that people from rural and urban areas have different work lifestyles, right? The jobs that they do by nature are different from what urban people have. It's just that they have better access to facilities. And this is again a problem that the government is just habituated to keeping the rural and urban areas in a certain way. About men and women, you feel that this difference exists because of the fact that women are less aware of these things. Okay, yes. Again, it's not about being emotionally weak or strong. It's not about that. Considered emotionally responsible, not really, Utkarsh. I don't think that could be a good reason. Okay, anyway, but still, you guys are attempting to give your opinions, and whatever exercise I made you do today is something that you should do in your essays. This is how your essay questions will shape. And remember, I corrected certain reasons. I had told you these. I made you, get your thoughts triggered. This is what you do when you look at an essay question. Okay, all right, great. It's no big deal. This is something that you can do every day for you to understand how to write a good essay. Apart from that, you also have to need good grammar and vocabulary. So anyway, let's come back to the guided newspaper practice session. I think I'll just call it a day right now. And we saw a very interesting article today, right? Okay, so do this more with yourself with any article that you like. And I'm now going to end the class and I'll just talk about the fast track program a bit. Most of you here are already fast track members: Rahul, Mohan, Aviva, Avinash, Utkarsh, Muttaza, all of you are already fast track members. Yes, Sadhana, you as well. But if you guys want to be a part of this program, you can fill out the form that's there in the description of this particular video. The counselor will call you and explain the program in detail, and you will then be able to enroll at a discounted fee. All right, so I will see you with another newspaper practice session and other interesting article. Okay, until then, keep practicing. Don't let the practice go. Bye bye. Take care. Yes, I'm looking at all of your sentences. Bye.